Hey guys, how's it going? So this is gonna be a quick video on how to get NARRATOR working on Windows 11. I'm on 24H2. The year is 2025, so this is the latest update that I've got over here on my PC. Um, I could not for the life of me find a single video on YouTube on the internet to get the NARRATOR functionality working. I guess my use case is that I wanted it to read an article for me because I'm too lazy to read it myself, especially if it's like a long PDF or any document, anything that you want to have read out loud. Um, I'll teach you how to do that in this video. But it really did surprise me that in the year 2025 I could not for the life of me get it working. So the last thing I did was I asked Grok on X how to do it, and it was the only LLM, large language model, that was able to help me with it. This is after a lot of trial and error. I spent about an hour trying to figure out how to do this. Um, and this video is more for myself than for anyone else out there because I have a tendency to clean install Windows every few weeks, like every month. And I don't want to have to figure it all out all from scratch. So I'm gonna like scroll through my settings over here. So if you're someone else watching, maybe you could take a note of all the settings that I happen to have toggled on and off, and the checkbox I've left unchecked, and the ones I've checked, and copy it ditto to not leave any room for it not working. So this is gonna be foolproof. If it's not working, just copy each and every setting here. This is not a long page at all, but there's certain things that you would definitely want to leave as I have left them, because the default is pretty fucking annoying. The default is that it starts reading everything on the page, right? It starts reading things on the side. It starts telling you what page. I guess unless you're blind, you don't really want it. You don't want it reading all of this, all of the peripherals out to you. So leave this to don't announce, uncheck all this stuff, leave context level for buttons and controls to no context. Otherwise, it'll give you context, right? I think by default it's left to something like full context or immediate context or something like that. Just change it to no context at all. You don't want anything. You don't want it to read out anything other than what you tell it to. But despite leaving it to this, it still reads it out because that's how clunky and poorly implemented the NARRATOR functionality is within Windows. I mean, despite being a $1 trillion company, Microsoft I'm talking about, this is such a poor implementation of this accessibility feature. It's so disappointing. That's such a. I guess the only reason I wanted to use NARRATOR is because of the voices. So this is the important thing that you're gonna want to have to take a note of. Um, by default you're not gonna get these natural voices. This guy is the perfect. I mean, it's the best voice in my opinion. I mean, obviously it's subjective, but you could pick any of these natural voices. So the way that you get them is by default you'll only have these ones, but to get the natural voice, obviously select the add natural voices option. Select, yeah, and then you'll be shown a bunch of natural voices available, and select any of these and then start downloading them. The thing is, they won't start downloading within this page, but they'll start downloading through the Microsoft Store for some weird ass reason, because that's Microsoft for you. So fucking streamlined. God damn it. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. Anyways, so even with so it'll start downloading a new package called speech package or speech text or something along those lines, and it won't start downloading right from the get go. It takes a few retries for it to finish downloading, and make sure it's downloaded. If it's not downloaded, it won't show up over here. So after it's downloaded, for good measure, and to not have it not work on you, just restart your PC, and after you're into it, it'll show up over here. Right, this is just for just for troubleshooting purpose. It should automatically show up over here, but in case it does not, just restart your PC. Okay. Now, all right, I'm gonna quickly scroll through all these settings, and you don't have to have all of these settings as I have set them, because it doesn't really matter all that much. But it's more for myself than anyone else, like I mentioned earlier on in the video. Let me first make sure that it's recording, because that would suck. I think it's recording. Yeah. God damn it. Okay, I don't know. I guess I'll see at the end of the video. Anyways, so I don't know why I have this thing open. So I have this web page open, right? The okay. So this is you can have it work with anything you've got. It could be a document, a PDF, or a web page or anything. I usually try to use these for posts on Twitter because they have like really long posts these days. And I don't want to have to read it all by myself. I just want to have it read it out loud to me. By the way, you can also, if you cannot get it to work, you can download an extension. But
President
that
Gustavo
extension
Petro of Colombia at his
is
inauguration in 2020.
but as you notice, obviously the voice is it's just it sucks ass. It's that bad. It's so mechanical and robotic that I cannot bear it. It gives me a headache listening to that voice. So the only way to get the natural voice sounding thing to work is through the inbuilt Windows thing. Now all right. So I'm gonna get right to it. So let's say you wanted to read, you don't, you like what usually happen is that you already had it read like first half of the document, and then you wanted to start reading from like a certain portion in between the document. You don't want it to start over, right? Now that's the crucial part. You don't want it to read anything on the side, because it usually will start reading like the peripherals on the page, right? It'll start reading Trump administration updates and all of this junk that you don't want it to read. So like as soon as you start the narrator, it'll start reading all of this stuff, and it'll like it'll like mess with your page. It'll like scroll down and up or something. So you gotta go back to where you wanted to start reading from, and then this is the important thing. The way that the narrator works is it'll start focusing. You'll have to have it focus on a certain word, and the way that you know that it's focused on that is by the indicator that it depicts. So it'll show you like a small rectangle. It's a blue colored rectangle that will be placed randomly somewhere on the screen. So for you to place the rectangle anywhere on the screen that you want it to be placed at is by single clicking on the text. Sometimes it doesn't switch to that area right away, so you're gonna have to. There's a lot of trial and error involved with Narrator because of how poorly it's implemented, uh, and how poorly the code is written. I'm just hoping AGI is here soon and AGI like writes the code for Narrator, because that would be so much better. Anyways, so you're gonna have to click on the word that you wanted to start reading from. Usually, what'll happen is by default it'll only read the first line and then it stops reading, right? But with this method, what I'm about to show you is that it'll start reading everything that you've selected from here on out. You don't have to manually select the whole thing. You just have to select the first word, and then it'll start reading everything from there on out. All right, now I'm gonna walk you through how to do that exactly. So let's have it start reading right from underneath the picture, or like this. This is where I wanted to start reading from, like from the middle of the this paragraph right here. American pressure to cooperate with measures to curb migration. This is where I wanted to start reading from. I'm gonna start the narrator, and it'll start like speaking over me, so I'm not gonna be able to speak as much. But okay, let me get this out of the way as well. So once that thing is selected, right? Once the rectangle thing is selected over the word, so hold down caps lock, and then press the down arrow key, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. All right. That once you've done that, it'll start reading everything from there on out. So I'm gonna show you how. I wish I could like show. I had a camera set up for my keyboard so I could show you what I was doing. But you get what I'm saying though. So caps lock and down button once you've already selected like a word. Let's say you selected unacceptable, right? And you wanted to read everything from here on out. Once it's selected, make sure that rectangle, the nearest rectangle. I'll show you. I'll show you what it looks like. Once it's there, hold on caps lock and then down arrow, and then you should start reading. All right, I'm gonna start the narrator now without any further ado.
Scan. Skip to content. Skip to site index. Section navigation. Button. Collapsed. Menu. Menu. Menu.
Okay.
Menu.
So
Menu.
let's say I wanted
Menu.
to start reading
Menu.
from somewhere
Menu.
here, right? America.
Inside Colombia's crisis over Trump's deportations. The New York
See,
Times.
I'm
Governments are
pressing
struggling to
hold.
respond to American pressure to cooperate.
Okay, see, it read the first line, right? It read this line, and then it stopped. It came back to America. This is where it dropped the cursor. This is the narrator's cursor, by the way. Now all I gotta do is hold on caps lock and then down arrow, and I'll start reading everything from here on out to the end of the page. It'll read the whole article to its completion, and this is the only way I'll figure out to get it to work. And it works every 100% of the time. So carve it into your brains so you never forget this, and spread this wisdom with your descendants, because they're going to need it given the pace at which Microsoft improves their products, which is by centuries, if that. Anyways,
American pressure to cooperate with measures to curb migration, including stepped-up deportations. At the same time, they are trying to assure their citizens that they will protect their rights. Mr. Petro announced that he was barring military
What did I
deportation flights
tell
after
ya?
reports from Brazil over the weekend that 88 people on a flight from the United States, including some families, had
See?
endured conditions that the Brazilian government described as unacceptable and degrading. The deportees had arrived on a non-military plane that malfunctioned and made an emergency landing in Manaus, a city in the Amazon rainforest. Luis Gilberto Murillo, Colombia's
See?
outgoing foreign minister, who was
Alright,
close. Exiting narrator.
I'm gonna stop it. See, as you saw, it already it jumped to the next paragraph, and then it started reading everything after that. So it'll read everything chronologically, and that's how you get it to work. So I just hope to fucking God that it recorded my voice and video. I think it did, yeah.